Good afternoon, Westwood, and welcome to Flay High Field for today's matchup, round of 8 matchup between the visiting Duxbury Dragons and your Westwood Wolverines. And folks, a lot on the line today. The winner of this game goes to the semifinals of the Division II Girls Lacrosse MIAA playoffs. And we are excited, folks. Westwood off to a terrific start, had wins over Billerica as well as Tantascwa. And they are playing a familiar foe. Duxbury is a team that they play every year in a non-league capacity and have played very, very close every single game the last couple of years that I can remember. Last year, Duxbury came into Westwood, got the win against Westwood. This year, Westwood went into Duxbury, got the 1-goal win in that game, and we're expecting a terrific matchup as both teams ready to get underway here. Jenny Mackin going to take the draw for the Wolverines. He's going to have Caroline Nozzolillo on the wing and Charlotte DeMayo on the wing as well. And you're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Girls Lacrosse. Charlotte Lynch, Morgan Donahue here. Charlotte on camera, Morgan Donahue on microphone. And we are about ready to get underway on a Friday afternoon. It is June 6th and the ball is in the air. Caroline Nozzolillo with the early draw control, and she's going to work it inside the offensive zone. So a good win for the Wolverines. Get the draw control. So important is you can't put the ball in the net if you don't win those draw controls. And they do it so many different ways with Jenny Mackin, Charlotte, and Caroline, working together. They'll throw some other players in the mix as well, but athleticism, just sheer desire to win that ball. There's a lot of factors of what makes them so successful at that. And they're starting to get their cuts going. Bridget Hughes, a sophomore. She might be a sophomore, but she is a veteran with the amount of playoff games she's played already, big games she's played across multiple sports, field hockey included with lacrosse. She's a captain-elect for field hockey before she's even started her junior year. So impressive. But that is not surprising, though, when you look at this Westwood team. A lot of captains from a number of different sports comprised on this team. Lewis working around, and Nozzolillo up top to Charlotte DeMayo. Charlotte draws the attention of a couple players, makes some nice moves, and take it outside and settle it down. Pass inside, that gets knocked away by Duxbury. The ball on the turf, and then picked up by number 21 on Duxbury. That is Skylar Cerro. So a turnover caused by Cerro, able to pick up the ball, and Duxbury going the other way. So Duxbury able to get the ball on the ground and keep Westwood to no shots on that opportunity, and they're going to get to work on the offensive side. They're going to work it around themselves. Both teams very strategic with the ball movement. See what's open when it comes to the cuts. Where's the space? How do you look at what matchups are favorable for you? Some good defense there. Olivia Mason forcing the Duxbury player outside. Pass inside. Off to the net. Ball gets knocked loose, but we get a whistle. And it's going to be a push on Westwood, and Duxbury's going to get a free opportunity here. That's going to go to Mackenzie Kingston. She's going to have the 8-meter. And she's got a position 1A to take it to the net. Just a little off center left. So wait on the ref's whistle. Kingston to the net. Save by Donnellan. Catherine Donnellan with a big early save on a shooting space. She has been terrific on the shooting space. I mean, I think of the Cohasset game they had this year. There was at least 6, 7 saves she had on the shooting space alone. The Duxbury, player on player right now, making it difficult for Westwood to find an open player to break it out. This is what the strategy is all about, is trying to get turnovers, make it difficult for teams to break out of their own end, cause a turnover. That ball goes over the head of Charlotte DeMayo, stays on the turf, but picked up by Fitzpatrick. Great backup by Fitzpatrick. She's got the ball, and she's going the other way. Sends it over to Nozzolillo. Nozzolillo with a couple defenders on her. She takes some contact, no call. But ball hits the turf. Westwood gets the ball back. Charlotte DeMayo. She's going towards the net, takes some contact, and we get a whistle there. So back and forth the teams go. Very defensive-oriented so far. And Charlotte's going to have a good look right in the center for a shooting space. She's going to take it to the net. Shot and a save by the Duxbury goaltender. She's going to set it down in the crease area to allow one of her players to pick it up and work their breakout. This is where Westwood really does a great job, is the aggressiveness on their breakouts. And there we go, ball on the turf. There's some contact there. Westwood gets the turnover. So great job, Wolverines, with their aggressive breakout defense. They got the ball right back in the offensive zone. Oh, that was an errant pass, and great job by Thurman. Keeps that in bounds to allow Westwood to keep the possession. Meredith. Ava Meredith in the starting lineup today. Pass inside. Thurman with the shot. That goes wide, but backed up by Hughes. Keeps the possession. And she just right back into it. I love it. No time for the weary. To Thurman with the shot. That was a rocket. Just missed above the net. Nozzolillo is going to pick up the possession. Nozzolillo, last year All-American. I'd imagine she's a sure bet for All-American again this year. 250 career goals, or 250 plus. That was as of 3 games ago. Unbelievable. That ball gets away on a pass, and that's going to be a turnover on the Wolverines. It's going to be a Duxbury ball. Westwood right back to the aggressive breakout defense. Nozzolillo looking to get the ball on the ground. All over the Duxbury player. She crosses the 50, gets inside the 40. But the ball knocked loose by Westwood. Out of bounds, though, it looks like. No, it's a Westwood ball. So a Westwood ball. So great job. Caroline Nozzolillo was asking the ref. She said, I think it's a Westwood ball. Ref confirms. And Kate Sullivan is moving with it, and ball gets knocked loose, and they're going to have her restart right around the 50. So some really tight defense so far by both teams as they are getting their offenses going. Both teams have explosive offenses. When you look at the games they've played all year, and particularly the playoff games, they've put up a lot of goals. But both these teams have terrific defense. So that's why you see, really some strong, defensive play on great athlete versus great athlete. Pass inside to Fitzpatrick. She holds on it, takes it back out. Smart play. Able to keep that possession. She went in, had about 3 defensive players on her. Nozzolillo draws a shooting space. She's going to have an off angle, though. Will she have enough of an angle to take it to the net? We'll see. But a good look here for Nozzolillo. She does have some good speed, and she's got great power. Nozzolillo to the net. Shot, score! And she took a stick on the shot. But Wolverines, nonetheless, get on the board on a goal by Caroline Nozzolillo on the shooting space. She made a great move. She was avoiding the stick on the initial defensive player, able to get a better angle, puts it in the back of the net, and she took a little whack and shaking it off, but gets Westwood on the board 1-0. Incredible. It was the Norwood game this year. She scored her 250th career goal. You have to, if you're ever going to get that close, you have to not only play as a freshman, you have to be a stud as a freshman, and she was. On a state championship team, a team that went back-to-back. I think they won 50-plus games in a row. And then made it to a state championship her sophomore year as well. So they made it to 3 state championships in a row, and Duxbury gets the draw control, looking inside, the pass, and that is saved off the stick of Donnellan. A big save there. Ball goes behind the net. Duxbury is going to keep the possession. And working it around on the outside. Great defense by the Wolverines here early on, is equally as impressive as the Duxbury defense. Westwood doing a good job of keeping the ball on the outside. Some terrific athletes. All of these athletes, multiple sport players. Pass inside. Duxbury looking to work that in. Caroline Valerian. Ball gets loose and Donnellan has it. Catherine Donnellan. She's looking for a player to work the breakout. Duxbury doing a good job of manning up. She finds Mackin. Mackin with a nice move, gets to the outside, crosses the 40, then finds Bridget Hughes. When Bridget Hughes going to work it inside. So a nice breakout by the Wolverines with a lot of pressure, able to get that ball down into the offensive zone and set the offense up. Great pass by Donnellan, found Mackin. Mackin with the sideline, then found Bridget Hughes to work it in. Just how you draw it up. One of the most important parts of that game is the breakouts, because when you get heavy pressure, it's like the full court press in basketball. And how to get through is by quick passes and fast movement. Mazzalillo back and forth with McMillan. McMillan down low to Hughes. To Thurman. Thurman's had a couple good looks early on, working right around the net front. Hughes working it around. Top to Mazzalillo. It's McMillan. Charlotte DeMayo makes a move. Duxbury with a good job on the adjustments, making some inside slides. Pass inside to Thurman. She's got a couple players on her and holds on it. So good adjustments by the Duxbury defense, but also smart play by Thurman. Don't just, not just shooting it from a bad angle. She's going to hold on to it to wait for a better angle. Charlotte DeMayo works it in and draws the whistle. She's going to have a look off to the right side. It looks like it's a little bit more off angle than Mazzalillo. But Naz was able to make a move inside. We'll see what DeMayo does here. She's going to hold on it. Cuts it and sends it outside. Smart possessions by the Wolverines. They know when that is a better look, and they hold on to it. McMillan to DeMayo. DeMayo inside, draws three players on her, makes a nice move to create some more space. She goes lefty, taking it towards the net. That ball gets knocked loose, but Thurman battling for it behind the net. A couple Westwood players, and Thurman picks it up. So Wolverines hungry on those loose balls. They've gotten a couple so far. Maintain possessions. Mazzalillo, Sullivan with the goal. Kate Sullivan gets the Wolverines' second goal. What a pass, too. Mazzalillo found Sullivan. It wasn't the easiest pass to catch, but a pass that only Kate Sullivan could catch. She holds on to it, fires it into the back of the net for the Wolverine goal and their second goal to go up 2-0. And what a goal by Kate Sullivan, a player that was offensive-minded last year. This year she has played more of a defensive role and has gotten into the action, at different games, scenarios and whatnot. And I feel every time she's gotten into that action on the offensive side, she has scored big goals. And add that one to the list. What a season, what a career, Kate Sullivan. You add hockey to that mix, she is the all-time leading point scorer in Westwood girls hockey history. Just an incredible athlete, leader, and a player. Ball loose, we got a whistle. I'm going to say infraction on Westwood. Going to be Duxbury ball, so Duxbury possession going the other way. Westwood, bunch of players closing in. And the ball gets knocked loose. It's going to stay with Duxbury. Duxbury going to work it in. And carried by Mackenzie Kingston, number 7 for the Dragons. Sullivan now on the defensive side, forcing the player outside. Doing a good job defending the territory. And Wolverines closing in there. They're going to see some contact. She's going to have a look to the net. That's an off angle. She's got Mackin to her left, Sullivan to her right. She heads to the net, gets a nice burst. Shot on net, saved by Donnellan, but we got another whistle. And I believe it's going to be another infraction on Westwood, and they're going to get a shooting space. Duxbury's going to get a shooting space on a better angle now, right down Broadway, right in the middle. I believe it's Maggie Slimbaugh, number 1, senior for Duxbury. She's going to take it in the net, shot, and Donnellan with the save. Ball loose in front, and Donnellan gets the stick on it. So a big save by the senior goaltender, Catherine Donnellan, and she finds Kate Sullivan right up about 20 yards ahead. She working it across the 50. So senior to senior on that connection to work the breakout. All 5 of Westwood's seniors this year going to be playing lacrosse at the next level. Shot by, I wasn't keeping track of the clock there, but the clock was winding down. Shot by Fitzpatrick and a save by the Duxbury goaltender. And after 1 quarter of action, Westwood 2, Duxbury nothing. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Very entertaining first quarter. It's a low-scoring first quarter, only 2-0, but you know what? Defense is exciting. Both teams, you could tell both teams want it. Both teams very aggressive on the defense, trying to get that ball on the ground, but also very active goaltenders. Both goaltenders with multiple saves and big saves on point-blank opportunities. We've seen Catherine Donnellan with a couple on shooting spaces. So great start to the game for Wolverines, able to get 2 goals, hang tough on the defensive end, and going to look to add to it here in the start of the second quarter. But a great matchup as advertised so far. Jenny Mackin right to the dot to kick off the second quarter. Caroline Nozzolillo on the left side wing and Charlotte DeMeo on the right side wing. Noz working closer to DeMeo. Ball in the air. Hits the turf. Mackin battling for it. Gets away and Duxbury picks it up. They're heading to the net. Got a good look here. And great job there by Olivia Shea. Keeps the player to the outside to avoid a shot on net, but we got a whistle. And I think they're going to give a shooting space just off to the right. And it's going to be an opportunity for number 10, Lily Fisher. But it was a great play by Shea, able to keep her away from the net, and Fisher's going to just set it out and regroup. It's a smart play. Those off angles, tough to get a head start when you got a player that's got a better angle to cut you off to the net. And right back to defense go the Wolverines. What an exciting spring playoff season it's been so far. Pass inside. We're going to get a whistle. Infraction on Westwood. And that's going to be a flag on, I think, Mackin. So Mackin is going to go off in addition to a shooting space. So Mackin goes off. Probably be 30 seconds to a minute, not sure. Oh, big opportunity here for Duxbury. Maggie Slimbaugh. She's had a shooting space earlier. She stumbles on that. Kate Sullivan got a stick on that, knocked it loose, but infraction again. But Maggie is going to have a better angle now. She is directly in front of the net. Going to have DeMeo to her right, and I believe Mason to her left, trying to disrupt her attempt. Takes it to the net. Shot and a goal. And Maggie Slimbaugh scores for Duxbury to get them on the board, cuts into Westwood's lead to make it a 2-1 game. So shooting space allows Slimbaugh to take it right to the net, and she scores. Cuts the lead in half. And Mackin is still going to be in the box, so that's a tough call because not only does the shooting space give, Duxbury a goal there, but Westwood's still down a player. Westwood looking to get the win here on the face-off and then let that clock tick till you get even strength. And have Thurmond, it looks like, with DeMeo. Thurmond, ball goes over her head. Duxbury is able to get the possession. Duxbury on the near sideline. Looking inside. And the ref is going to give a yellow card to Caroline Nozzolillo. Didn't like something that she had to say. And I believe it was going to be a possession for Westwood. The official gives Caroline a yellow card, and then the ball goes to Duxbury. So that is an unfortunate play. Hate to see the game be impacted. Duxbury right back to work. We got a whistle there. So Westwood is down 2. Duxbury's got an opportunity here with Westwood 2 players down, with Nozzolillo and Mackin in the box. Shot and a Duxbury goal. And Duxbury ties it up 2-2. That looks like a goal by number 22, Cici Tremonte. And Westwood's still down 2 players right now. That's why those calls are difficult. They certainly impact games. Not only just does it give a team possession, but it keeps the players on the sideline. And that's not how games should be decided. So Margot Spatola saying something from the sideline, and it's going to be a Westwood ball. So great job by head coach Margot Spatola. She saw something out there, said it to the official, Westwood ball. So Westwood looking to break it in. Thurman's got 3 players on her. She's working on the near sideline, going to work the other way. Just misses on the connection with Olivia Mason. Jillian Walsh picks it up, looking for a player, cuts through a couple players, gets it across the 50, sends it near side to Olivia Mason. Olivia Mason inside to Thurman. So great job by the Wolverines. Now they need to let that clock tick so they can get some players back. Mackin almost ready to come back in. Wolverines doing a good job, just moving it around, waiting, allowing that clock to tick. They're still down 2 players. There's a whistle. That's going to have a reset. McMillan works it around. It's another whistle. Mackin getting close. And Mackin back in the game. Wolverines get 1 player back. That's big. They're doing a good job of holding it. Kate Sullivan misses on the pass to McMillan. That ball is heading towards the sideline. Duxbury was able to pick it up, but there was a whistle. It's going to be a Westwood ball, so Duxbury knocked the ball out of bounds. It's going to be a Westwood ball. Caroline Nozzolillo on her feet. She's about ready to come back in as The penalty is getting closer to expiring, and Nozzolillo back in. So Westwood back to even strength now after 2 penalties, 2 goals that got Duxbury to tie it up. Now Westwood's opportunity here to answer. Emily DeMayo should take some contact, get a whistle. So great job by the Wolverines. That was big. You know, limit the goals to as few as possible. It was, sometimes you see 3, 4 goals happen in a span when you're down 2 players like that. They did a good job. Won the possession and ran it around. And they're back to strength, and they're fired up right now. Nozzolillo back on the field. Inside pass, finds Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with the shot. That ball gets deflected. She picks it right back up. Nozzolillo towards the net. She gets fouled. And she's going to have a look. Caroline Nozzolillo, she's not going to have a good enough angle, and she's got players in front of her, but keep an eye on cutting players. We've seen a lot of low cuts on plays like this where Wolverine's able to take it to the net, get it a good look, get a shot. Noz looking inside. She does find inside to Kate Sullivan again. Those two have found each other on back-to-back goals. Nozzolillo to Kate Sullivan on the 2nd goal. Now the 3rd goal to put the Wolverines back up 3-2. A beautiful pass on a low cut. Finds Kate Sullivan. Not an easy catch, not an easy shot. Found area of the net, and she buried it. A big goal for the Wolverines to answer on the back-to-back goals by Duxbury. And right back to the draw. Mackin, Nozzolillo, and DeMayo off to the right. Draw control has been very competitive. It's been 50-50 battles. Ball up in the air, ball on the ground. Both teams have had a chance. Not easy to pick it up. Ball is launched towards both players, and then Charlotte DeMayo picks it up. And Charlotte DeMayo gets the possession. So a well-earned possession by the Wolverines. After it looked like Duxbury was going to get it, DeMayo made some nice moves to get the ball in her stick, and Wolverines have the ball right back to work in the offensive zone. Thurman set up in the X position. We saw a great pass earlier, Nozzolillo to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick had a good look. It looked like shot was blocked, but the low cut has been working nicely. Nozzolillo working inside, and she draws the shooting space and is going to get a nice look. The All-American, she's got 1 goal already, looking to add another one on an off angle, similar angle to what she had in the 1st quarter. Nozzolillo to the net, holds on it, shot gets blocked, goes through the back of the end zone. Westwood ball still. Hughes picks it up. It was a good job by Duxbury. Got a piece of that one to make sure that ball headed elsewhere. McMillan works it back down low. Thurman looking for Nozzolillo. That ball gets away. Duxbury's got the ball going the other way. That's picked up by Slimbaugh. Slimbaugh's got some speed. She's got some space ahead of her. Nice breakout there by Slimbaugh. She's also scored a goal for the Dragons. Now the Dragons' chance to answer to Westwood's goal. Work it around. Ball back in the stick of Slimbaugh. Hard to see the Duxbury numbers, but black uniforms have always been the toughest for whatever reason. And then when you have dark numbers, like the dark green challenge sometimes, but it looks like a number 11. Gabby Fisher. Pass inside, off the crossbar. Duxbury picks it up, shot again, that goes wide. But 2 point-blank looks. And off the crossbar, a goalie's best friend. Duxbury keeps the ball. Working it around, pass inside, shot, and a score. That was a nice pass and a nice shot for the goal by Duxbury. Not sure who scored it, trying to pick up the number. Well, we are all knotted up at 3. 4 minutes, 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. Right back to the draw. Mackin. These have been great battles. Mackin able to push it towards herself. She gets fouled, and then Westwood picks it up. Nazalillo just going to take it right to the net. She's got some speed, takes it to the shot, and a save by the goaltender. Ball gets deflected up in the air and picked up by Duxbury. So back and forth, Nazalillo is able to take that ball directly to the net. Went through a few players, saved by the Dragons goaltender, and then Duxbury picks up the rebound and they have the ball. Looking to break the tie. We are knotted up 3-3. 3 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in the first half, and a very entertaining game so far. A whistle there. They're going to restart and have Mackin set up behind the Duxbury player. Pass on the outside. Oh, great job there. That was Olivia Shea with the tremendous defense. Picks up the turnover, and then she finds Starman. So a huge play by Olivia Shea. Momentum for the Wolverines now, going into offense. Big, big time play by Shea. That is so hard to do, to knock the ball loose without, being called on a foul. Fouls are, pretty common. You got to get a clean stick on stick to knock that loose, or even just get your stick on the ball on a pass. Shea able to do it. And a chess match. Both teams. It's always just looking to see what you can draw up. Pass inside. There's DeMayo to Fitzpatrick. That ball knocks loose. Duxbury comes away with it. Duxbury got it with some speed. Fisher. Pass on the near side to Tremonte. Tremonte scored the second goal for Duxbury, and they're going to settle it down as the clock continues to tick. Almost inside 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 7 seconds remaining here in the half. Both teams' defense really forcing the offenses to have to be perfect. Each pass has to be perfect. They are right up in each other's, grill on the defensive end. Player hits the turf. Nazalillo then hits the turf. And that's going to be a foul on Duxbury. So Westwood's going to have the ball, and Donnellan's going to look to break it out. So Donnellan's got the ball. It's 1 minute, 27 seconds and counting. Wolverines looking to break it out and get a look if they can. Donnellan's got a player all over her. She's going to go back in the crease, get some space, and then finds Fitzpatrick. Ball gets knocked loose, but we get a whistle. Ball continues, or clock continues to tick. And Fitzpatrick going to send it to the other side. She's got Mackin. Ball gets loose. Mackin able to pick it up. Inside a minute. Wolverines looking to get one last look. If they can get a goal, that's a big momentum shift with right before the half. Nazalillo. Right over to DeMayo. A lot of running, especially midfielders, back and forth. They're certainly going to get their money's worth today, and need to get some hydration in during the halftime. 30 seconds. Pass inside. Hughes makes a couple moves, finds some space, shot, she scores! Bridget Hughes slicing and dicing gets the Wolverines' fourth goal to put them back up. What a goal by the sophomore, Bridget Hughes. I had the opportunity to talk to her after, I believe, the Bishop Girton game, and I asked her, I said, how important were those games last year in the playoffs for your confidence to play in big games and to have that big game confidence and not feel like the lights are too bright? And she said it was huge to play in those playoff games last year as a freshman, to then also have the schedule the Wolverines had this year, playing the best in NDA in Lincoln Sudbury, in Concord Carlisle, Bishop Girton, Moses Brown, Cohasset, Duxbury. That's just to name a few. Those have made her, you know, just abundantly confident when it comes to big games and knowing what she is capable of, and no better example than that goal right there. Making a couple nice, confident cuts in traffic and then puts it in the back of the net for the goal, and the Wolverines get the possession. They still have 17 seconds if they can get another look. 15 seconds. 10, 9, Thurmond trying to make a move. She's got a couple players on her. Ball gets knocked loose. And then Duxbury's going to get it as the clock is going to wind down for the first half. And that is going to do it for the first half of the Division II round of 8 matchup. After one half of lacrosse, Westwood 4, Duxbury 3. Goals for Westwood: Caroline Nozzolillo, Kate Sullivan, Bridget Hughes. And what an entertaining matchup so far. Stick around, folks. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Girls Lacrosse round of 8. Take a quick break and we'll be right back for the start of the second half.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Very entertaining first half. And you know what? Typically when you say very entertaining first half, it's a lot of goals scored. Not this case. Very entertaining defensive battle. Been very much, you know, chess-like of this move here, their move here, and being able to be proactive and reactive by both teams, and just, you know, you got to take a punch to give a punch. Kind of like the boys lacrosse game yesterday. The boys lacrosse had a big win in their round of 16 matchup over Marshfield. Marshfield was the runner-up in the state championship last year. Westwood went into Marshfield, gets the win 11-10 in heroic fashion by Liam Williams with 5 seconds remaining in the game. But very similar feel to this game. You know, it almost feels like whoever's going to have the ball in their stick in the last, 20 seconds is going to be the one that probably going to pull away. But we'll see what kind of adjustments are made here. First half is always a good opportunity for teams to make adjustments on, personnel and systems and all of that. That ball gets loose, heads towards the far sideline, picked up by Duxbury. And Duxbury right into Westwood territory. So Duxbury, with the start they want here in the second half, gets the draw control, and they're going to get to work on offense. Duxbury, a well-coached team. Got some great talent, great athletes. I mean, these two teams match up very nicely. A lot of great teams this year in Division II. Hingham was another great one. They're still alive in the round of 8. I believe they're going to take on, I think, NDA. I'd have to double check, but a lot of these South Shore teams, great lacrosse teams. Duxbury working it around. Shot, that hits a couple bodies, goes out of the back end line. Going to stay with Duxbury. That had to hit a few bodies. The Duxbury player was trying to throw that inside the post. Donaldson did a good job of getting back to cover there. Duxbury keeps the ball. Olivia Mason on defense. One-on-one with Slimbaugh. Slimbaugh over to number 17, Prouty. Pass inside. Donaldson with the save! On an inside look. What a save. Catherine Donaldson caught that right in the stick, sends it right over to Charlotte DeMayo, and DeMayo in stride gets it across the 50. Two big plays, the pass and then the breakout, and right back in the offensive zone go the Wolverines. Catherine Donaldson, my goodness. Wolverines moving it around. Thurman set up behind the net. Let's see what kind of adjustments they made. Looks like they keep the players where they were in the first half. Sometimes you see moving players up top and moving players down low for high and low cuts. McMillan does a good job avoiding Duxbury pressure. Sends it over to Charlotte DeMayo. Charlotte DeMayo getting her feet moving. A shot that goes wide. I think it hits Bridget Hughes. She's going to keep the possession. Wolverines moving it around. McMillan to DeMayo. Now Zalillo's found Kate Sullivan a couple times. She finds her there, but Kate Sullivan pulls out of traffic. Kate Sullivan looking inside for Hughes. That ball gets knocked loose, but Hughes with a great job gets the ball back in Westwood's stick. It looked like it was going to go to Duxbury, but Hughes on the spot, able to knock that into open space. Nazalillo to the net, bounce shot. That goes wide, but DeMayo is behind the net. Going to start it with Thurmond. Hughes up top to DeMayo. DeMayo, a little spin, works it on the left. She takes some contact. We'll get a whistle. She's going to be offset. So she'll most likely send it up top or reset. Or no, she might have an angle. We'll see. She's got the speed for it. Definitely going to be some bodies that will try and cut through. Naz had a goal from there where she held onto it, created a different angle. DeMayo cuts it inside. Shot and a goal! Charlotte DeMayo with a beautiful move on an off angle, cuts it into the middle, create a better angle, and scores the goal on the shooting space to put the Wolverines up 5-3. The Wolverines get the first goal in the second half. What a goal. That is a tough, tough angle. You have to go through traffic to be able to get a good look. She made a very, very nice move there. Cut it inside, changed the angle, and shot high and scored high. Mackin back on the draw. DeMayo and Nazalil set up on the left. Ball heading towards us. Duxbury's got the edge. He missed on the first scoop. It's going to be a Westwood ball, so infraction on Duxbury, Westwood ball. Nazalillo picks it up. She takes some contact. I do got to say, the ref's doing a good job with the ticky-tack stuff, like where the balls that are getting knocked loose that are not stick-wise. They're doing a really good job. Both teams, it's that's been pretty good. The Wolverines working it around. DeMeo with the last one. She sends it over to McMillan. Charlotte DeMeo, one half of the formidable DeMeo twins. Her star sister, Emily DeMeo, out with a torn ACL this year. These girls want to win it for her. One of their sisters, one of their teammates, and one of the best players, complete players you've seen come through the program. Playing all over the field, just both the DeMeos. So fun to watch. Pass inside to Thurman. Holds on it, shot, save. Ball goes up in the air. Duxbury's able to catch it on the ricochet. What a save by the Duxbury goaltender on Thurman. And she comes out, and Thurman playing some D out there. This is a good look for the Wolverines, and to force some difficult passes, but Duxbury makes the difficult passes there. Able to get it across the 50 and then into Westwood territory. Well, what a save there by the Duxbury goaltender on one of the most dangerous scores on the Wolverines, Cece Thurmond. Cece did a good job, able to jump up to evade the defensive players to get a good clean shot, and a great save by the goaltender. Both goalies have been tremendous. The Duxbury looking to answer to Westwood's goal. Westwood up 5-3. 5 minutes, 45 remaining here in the third quarter. Westwood keeping the Duxbury players outside. Pass, errant pass, ball on the ground, Westwood ball. And in the stick of Charlotte DeMeo, the person you want to have that in their stick, no one better than Charlotte DeMeo. She can break it out herself, does a good job, gets it across the 50, and sends it to Fitzpatrick, who's got some wheels. And she's going to work it inside the 30. So a great job by the Wolverines. They get the ground ball, and then they work it into the offensive area. And they're going to settle it down. I don't blame them. With the back and forth, a lot of running. Definitely want to catch your breath, remain sharp. Thurmond in the X position. A couple cutters. Fitzpatrick cutting there. Thurmond going to work it up herself. Sends it right back down low to Charlotte DeMeo. Charlotte passing inside. That pass is intercepted by Duxbury. Duxbury with a clean breakout pass. We find number 22, Cece Tremonte. Tremonte going towards the net. A couple Westwood players forcing the outside. Great job there. Mackin with Fitzpatrick. Kept her outside, and Westwood player hit the turf. It looked like Mackin took some contact. And it's going to be a call on Mackin. A block. It's going to keep the ball with Duxbury. And they're going to have the ball off to the side of the net. But that is going to be a timeout called. So we're going to take a quick break with the timeout and be right back after a quick message.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Wolverines coming back out. I believe a timeout was called by Duxbury as they have the possession just off to the side behind the net. And, you know, a good opportunity for Westwood, though, there to get a little breather, get some water in you. This has been a very active game. It's been a track meet. A lot of running, and it's still very, very hot day. Yesterday, the boys are playing in 96-degree heat. It is a lot hotter off this surface area, too. The heat comes right off of it. Also, these stands, not the best area. You know, Charlotte, I don't know if you remember graduation a couple years ago where, my goodness, it was radiating heat. But another day, but you know what, hey, we'll take it. We had some cold, rainy days for a lot of the month of May. And this beats shoveling snow, I'll tell you that. So Duxbury with the possession. And that opportunity, you know, the Duxbury coach will be able to talk about what you're trying to do here on the possession. Some new looks, some different matchups. How do you create new matchups, you know, with some of the switch plays. Pass inside, they find a streaking Duxbury player. Shot goes wide. That was a great look there. It was a catch and shot by Addie Slimbaugh, sister to Maggie Slimbaugh. But that's exactly a play that was drawn up by the coach. You know, it was a good look and certainly a well drawn out timeout to draw that up. Right back to offense goes Duxbury. Wolverines looking to get the ball on the ground and take it the other way. Pass up to the top. That's number 20 for Duxbury, Caroline Valerian. Just going to give it off to Addie Slimbaugh. Slimbaugh, very fast player, got some good moves. She's got Mackin on her, who's very impressive herself. Mackin, some good defense, forces Duxbury player outside. We get a whistle for infraction on Mackin. And it's going to be a free possession off to the right. Good look here for Duxbury. Pass inside, shot, that goes wide. Going to stay with Duxbury. That was a great look inside, hard shot, just wide. And Duxbury working it around, trying to take it to the net. Donnellan comes out and able to put it in the back of the net. So a goal for Duxbury as the player came close to the crease. And it looks like the coach is going to talk about it because it might have gone into the crease. It was close. But also, Donnellan came out. I'm not sure what the call is, but they're going to have a conversation about it, and we'll see what they have to say. But it was very, very close. Typically, when you see players take it to the net like that, they're diving to try and find an opening. Push. So it's going to be a Westwood ball, so no goal. No goal on that call, going to be a Westwood ball. So that's a big play. That's a big play, and it's going to be a ball in the stick of Mackin, who's going to look to break it out on the whistle, but that is a big play. That is a goal off the board and a ball in the stick of Westwood. Mackin takes, wow, it makes a nice move. They're going to have her restart. And we got a foul on Duxbury. So Duxbury player is going to come off. So a big opportunity for the Wolverines. So two big swings here. The no goal call and then the penalty call here. And the Wolverines going to have a good opportunity here. Pass over to Fitzpatrick. She's going to work it in. So Westwood, a player up. Going to look to take advantage of it and get a good look and try and get a goal here. Wolverines up 5-3 inside 2 minutes. 1 minute and 50 remaining here in the third quarter. DeMayo. Fitzpatrick. Down low to Hughes. Hughes with a goal today. Nas looking inside, holds on it. Draws a couple defenders. Pass inside to Sullivan. We said that a couple times today. Sullivan with a look inside. That ball gets loose. Still loose. And it's going to be a Duxbury ball. So I think the ball ended up in the crease. Duxbury goaltender able to get a stick on it. And good job by Duxbury, able to get that possession while they were down a player. And they're going to look to break it out and kill some clock to get it back to even strength. Working on the near sideline. Some contact there. We're going to stoppage as Shea Martin working across. She's got 3 Westwood players on her. We get a whistle there. Charlotte DeMeo was on top of that, not going to lose, but the ref did not blow the whistle yet for the restart, and we get the restart there. Duxbury passing around. Westwood very aggressive. And Duxbury able to get it across. Addie Slimbaugh passes it off to the left, looking inside. Slimbaugh back in the middle, sends it outside. And we get a whistle. That's going to be a penalty on Westwood. Penalty on Olivia Mason. So Olivia Mason going to take a seat as it's going to be even strength for a little bit. And then Duxbury will have a player up with 28 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Slimbaugh is going to have a good look right in the center. Or Addie Slimbaugh. Slimbaugh to the net. Shot saved by Donnellan. Catherine Donnellan on another shooting space with a big save. And she's got 18 seconds. I'd imagine she's going to just let that clock tick. Oh, she finds, I believe, Jillian Walsh. Walsh working it across. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Ball heading towards the sideline. Going to go out of bounds. Duxbury going to have it, and that is going to do it for the third quarter. Wolverines able to get 2 goals to go up, or excuse me, 1 goal to go up 5-3, and has a 5-3 lead going into the fourth quarter. So stick around, folks. We'll be right back to start the fourth quarter. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Girls Lacrosse Round of 8 here at Flaherty Stadium.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. 5-3 Wolverines going here into the fourth quarter. And a very exciting game so far. A trip to the Final Four on the line here for winner of this team will go on to the semifinals and play the winner of, I believe, Walpole, and I forget who Walpole's playing, but Walpole, a perennial Final Four team, which would be surprised if they weren't the team that makes it to the Final Four in that matchup. But this is what it's all about, folks. The fourth quarter in a round of 8 game, Final Four on the line. There's a trophy here for the Final Four team. That's what it's all about. This is where Great memories are made and a draw control win for Duxbury. So Duxbury, I believe, has their player back on the field. So Westwood is down a player right now with Olivia Mason. Penalty, she had I'm not sure if it was a minute or 2 minute penalty. Duxbury right back to work. Catherine Donnellan has been tremendous. She's had a number of saves on shooting spaces. Pass inside. Donnellan again with a save. Ball gets loose, picked up by Duxbury. My goodness, another one to add to Donnellan's day. Ball inside. There was some contact there. Contact on the stick, which I think caught a piece of the head from her own player's stick, but she's going to have a look down Broadway. So yet another shooting space right in the middle. Duxbury with a good look here. Taking it to the net, then pull out. Shot, that goes wide. Is Westwood there in position? No, they're going to say Duxbury. So Duxbury is going to have the possession. Pass inside. Westwood does a good job of forcing that player outside. Good job holding down the fort. Mason almost ready to come in. Duxbury working it around. Still on the man up. Clock ticking down on the penalty. Wolverines looking to get an extra player to be able to defend this look. Behind the back. Saved by Donnellan again. Catherine Donnellan on a behind the back look with a huge save. And the penalty is expired. Olivia Mason back on the field. Donnellan, intercepted by Duxbury. Duxbury going to the net. Pass down low. And they have to hold on it. Pass inside, a little spin move, and then a goal. That was a big play there by Duxbury, able to intercept the pass and make a couple moves and then score a goal to get their fourth goal and to get within one. It was one of the Slimbaugh sisters. I'm not sure if it was Maggie or Addie. It was Addie Slimbaugh with the goal. Well, we got a 1 goal game, folks. Big draw control here. Mackin right back at it. Got Nozzolillo and Charlotte DeMeo off to the right. These draw controls have been great battles. That one goes vertical. Heading towards the far sideline. Duxbury with the edge, and they pick it up. Duxbury with the ball back in their stick right after the momentum from the Slimbaugh goal. Looking to tie this one up. Inside 10 minutes left in the game. Slimbaugh makes a move. Sullivan able to regroup. A little spin move, and then Sullivan forced her the other angle, and they're going to give a free possession to Slimbaugh here. Offset left, shot, that goes wide. There's 2 Duxbury players to 1 Westwood player behind the net. I'm going to say, just going to stay with Duxbury. Duxbury keeps the possession. Slimbaugh. Mackin on the defense. Move inside. She takes some contact, no calls. She got ran over. Nothing there, but it's going to be a Westwood ball regardless. Westwood was well positioned behind the net. So Olivia Mason picks it up. She's getting her feet moving. She's got some space ahead. Finds Sullivan. Sullivan tiptoeing the sideline, makes a move inside. Sends it up, looking for Shea. Shea gets hit, and we get a whistle. So great breakout there. Wolverines able to get that across the 50. We got it to Olivia Shea. He's going to have the ball starting on the 40. Sends it over to Kate Sullivan, and then Sullivan up to Bridget Hughes. So great breakout by the Wolverines to get the ball back, and they're going to set it up in the offensive zone with 8 minutes and counting. Wolverines working it around. DeMayo. Fitzpatrick down low to Thurman. Mazzalillo scored so many big goals. She scored the game winner versus Longmeadow in overtime to send the Wolverines to the Final Four 3 years back. Pass behind the net. Mazzalillo looking, holding. Pass inside to Sullivan, and that ball gets knocked loose, but able to pick it up. They keep working around. Thurman holds on it. Down to Bridget Hughes. Hughes working it around. She's had a beautiful goal early in the game and scored the Wolverine fourth goal. DeMayo's got some speed. Working outside. That ball gets loose, but we got a whistle. So DeMayo able to draw a foul. It's going to be too far outside, I think, to take it to the net, but she's got some speed. We'll see. And she's going right to the net. Shot. Score! Charlotte DeMayo picks the low right corner to score Westwood's sixth goal to put them back up 2-6-4. What a goal. I did not think she had enough proximity to the net to get a shot off. She got it off and picked the corner, the low right corner, to score the goal and put the Wolverines back up 2. So Charlotte DeMayo with the last 2 goals for the Wolverines. Nas on the draw. You're going to have Mackin on the wing with Charlotte DeMayo. So change up at the draw. Westwood has a lot of different players with the experience to take the draw. It goes straight up in the air. Ball gets knocked towards the far sideline. Duxbury able to pick it up. They got the possession. So Duxbury with the ball, looking to cut into Wolverines' 2-goal lead. Duxbury's been great in the draw control in the second half. Westwood's also been great, being able to get the ball back despite losing draws. Getting down to crunch times. 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of the round of 8 game. Final 4 ticket on the line. There's a call there. They're going to restart. Some contact by Westwood on the Duxbury player. Gabby Fisher going to start with it on the whistle. Fisher sends it over to Slimbaugh. Ball gets knocked loose on the turf. Still loose, then picked up by Duxbury. Duxbury with the ground ball. Duxbury heading to the net. A couple nice moves. You got a flag. And they're going to be a shooting space for Duxbury. We'll see where it's positioned. It's going to be right in the middle. So shooting space, Westwood, and then a pass, and then a goal. So Duxbury opted to pass on a low cut. Nice connection there. Westwood got a piece of that, but then ended up in the back of the net. So Duxbury gets the 5th goal, get it back within 1 with 5 minutes, 8 seconds remaining. And we're going to get a timeout called for the Wolverines. So a timeout for the Wolverines. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Duxbury able to get it to within one. We got a big face-off here, folks. 1 goal game, 5 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here. Wolverines coming out of the timeout, so they able to talk to the players a little bit, get some rest. They're going to get Mackin right back to the draw, so this is a good opportunity to talk about how they want to get that ball and be able to pick that up for a face-off win. So here we go. Ball and meshed in both players' sticks. The ball is in the air and then caught by Duxbury. Duxbury with the draw control. Duxbury going to run it into the net. That was a high pass. Good, well adjustment there by Kingston. Kingston to the net. Ball goes by. Goes out, but going to stay with, no, it's going to be a Westwood ball. So Westwood ball. Huge play there. Westwood gets the ball and they're going to work the breakout. Kate Sullivan is looking for McMillan. The ball gets deflected. McMillan trying to pick it up. She gets knocked out of bounds, and the ball is going to go to Duxbury. So Duxbury, but Shea gets a stick on that. But Duxbury able to pick that one up. So very close on possessions by both teams. One going one, the other going to the other. Ball back on the stick of Duxbury. Duxbury looking to tie it up, down a goal, 6-5, 4 minutes remaining in the game. A little shovel pass, looking for some space. Nozzolillo on the defense, ball towards the net. They got a delayed whistle, and it's going to be an opportunity for Duxbury. It's going to be, I think, right in the middle. So a good look here for Duxbury to tie it up. Right downtown. Shot to the net. Off the crossbar. Ball gets loose. Kate Sullivan gets the rebound. And Kate Sullivan working it out the other way. So big break for the Wolverines. They got the ball. And they're going to work it down. Margot Spatola on the sideline. You can hear her yelling, telling them where to set it up. So they want to give it to Thurman. But now they're inside 3 minutes. So two scenarios here. Oh, ball. There's some contact there. The clock ticking, but 2 scenarios here. When you have possession, you can close out a game. Do you try to hold on to it for 2 minutes, 40 seconds? There's no shot clock in girls lacrosse. And this is, you know, what a lot of coaches coach is how can you drain clock where at some point they're going to have to take the goalie out of the net, but you got to be able to do it effectively here. So that's the task for the Wolverines. 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Can you move that ball and let clock continue to tick? This is what months and months of practice consist of, is the keep away. How do you close games out? You got Margot right over there. You see her right behind Charlotte, instructing her what to do, work it around the other side, looking for open space. She's doing a great job. Then you got to find the other player who's got a little more energy. There she goes. She finds Bridget Hughes, who's got some left in the tank. Inside at minute 48. So Wolverines took off about a minute there, looking to add. They're taking more off the clock. Up top to Nozzolillo, moving it around nicely. Noz going to try the other side. Just about when you get it inside a minute, that's when you see the goalie typically get out of the net to try and help out knocking the ball loose. And right back to Charlotte DeMeo. Charlotte doing a great job. She's had it for about a minute. And that's going to be a whistle and a flag on Duxbury. So this is big. Wow, big play here. Duxbury player is going to go off. Westwood has the ball a man up. And now you're probably going to see the goalie come out to try and knock that ball loose with 1:17 left. And the question is, do you put it in the net if you have an open net, or do you hold on to it? Because last thing you want to do is allow an opportunity for a face-off where a team can win that ball back, score, win another face-off, score again. So there's a lot to consider there. DeMeo working it across the field, sends it down low to Nozzolillo, senior to senior, captain to captain. They've done this a few times. They've practiced it even more. Noz back to DeMeo. Under a minute. 54 and counting. Finds Thurman. Thurman has it with some open space. The Duxbury players are tired. The Wolverines doing a great job moving it around. Fitzpatrick holding on it. Holding. Whistle there. 30 seconds. That was a high pass, but great adjustment by Nozzolillo. Thurman's got it. Back to Nozzolillo. 21 seconds. My goodness, this has been 3 minutes, Charlotte, of the Wolverines holding on to the ball and keeping it down in that end. 10 seconds. Bridget Hughes running around, doing a terrific job. 2 seconds. 1 second. And folks, your Westwood Wolverines are back in the Final Four, the semifinals here at Flahi Field. What a game versus a tremendous Duxbury team. You got to give all the credit in the world. Duxbury was a terrific opponent, a 1-goal game, and the Wolverines closing it out in unbelievable fashion. 3 minutes, over 3 minutes left. They got that possession. It was a ball that went off the crossbar on a free possession. Kate Sullivan catches it on the stick. They got a clean breakout, and they played keep away for 3+ minutes to earn the win and on to the Final Four. And they will get a Final Four trophy today. I took a picture of it, and they will be playing. We'll figure out the date, the time, the opponent, confirm it with everyone. But what a game. It is not over yet, folks. Wolverines, more lacrosse to be played, more left on the line with an opportunity to make it into the state championship, the D2 state championship, and get back there for the first time in 2 years. But what a game. My goodness. We'll remember this one for a while. Well, that is going to do it here at Flahi. Westwood winners 6-5 in the round of 8 over Duxbury. From Charlotte Lynch, Morgan Donahue. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you all on the next one.